Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. Today is September 5th, 2023. This is part 2 on A Storm is Coming, Day of Atonement, September 26th, 2023. More information about asteroid 12182 named Storm, connected to the statement of Donald Trump, the calm before the storm. A storm is coming. And so much information. We need to take a look at this. It's also connected to the planet Mars. At every crucial increment in time, it is connected to the planet Mars. And Mars is the god of war. And together with this, as we're talking about the storm that is coming, today, Storm Daniel is hitting Greece. Storm Daniel is hitting Greece. I shared about this in my video talking about the connection between the 21-day battle of Michael, which is connected to the Prince of Persia and also the Prince of Greece. Storm Daniel is hitting Greece. We are 21 days now from September 26th, the Day of Atonement. 21 days. Storm Daniel connected to Greece, connected to 7,000 lightning bolts. Okay, I've got more information about that and more information about asteroid 12182 storm. So let's get into this information. Asteroid storm 12182 was found on October 27th, 1973. This was the last day of the Yom Kippur War. 50 years ago, the war that began on the Day of Atonement was 1973, a Jubilee year, a war that took place exactly on the Day of Atonement, 1973, the Yom Kippur War. This asteroid was found on October 27th, 1973, the last day of the Yom Kippur War. 12182 storm was named after Theodore Storm. Let us read a little bit about Theodore Storm and why this is significant. Theodore Storm, a German writer and local judge in his northern German hometown Husum. He wrote impressive poems and more than 50 novels. As a representative of poetic realism, he described the landscapes and the people of his North Frisian coastal district. Theodore Storm, born on September 14th, 1817, and he died on July 4th, 1888. Commonly known as Theodore Storm, was a German Frisian writer. He is considered to be one of the most important figures of German realism. Storm. Now this is about Storm's work. Storm was one of the most important authors of 19th century German literary realism. He wrote a number of stories, poems, and novels. His two best-known works are the novels Immense and Der Schimmelreiter, which means the rider on the white horse. The rider on the white horse. So this asteroid 12182 storm is named after Theodore Storm, whose most important work, one of his most important works and best known works, was The Rider on the White Horse. Now, this work was translated. Theodore Storm translated works. The Rider on the White Horse and Selected Stories was translated by James Wright in none other than 2009. The Rider on the White Horse, translated in 2009. What year did Barack Obama become president? The Rider on the White Horse, 2009. What year did Barack Obama receive his Nobel Peace Prize? The Rider on the White Horse, 2009. So we're going to go through details now, and I'm going to show you how this asteroid is connected to the planet Mars at very crucial intervals. First and foremost, on the day it was discovered, October 27th, 1973, which was the last day of the Yom Kippur War that began on the Day of Atonement, October 6, 1973, October 28, 1973, a successful ceasefire manages to end the Yom Kippur War. So on the day that the ending of the Yom Kippur War took place, this asteroid was discovered. It was discovered in the constellation of Pisces, and it was connected to the planet Mars on the day it was discovered, October 27th, 1973. On the day of event 201, October 18th, 2019, a global pandemic exercise. Asteroid 12182 storm connected in Virgo to the planet Mars on the day that they are planning what will become COVID-19. They planned this ahead of time. Event 201, October 18th, 2019. And in my first video, I showed you the lead up of this asteroid coming into Virgo and how it was followed by all kinds of planets. Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, and it came right into Virgo, and exactly on October 18th, it was connected to the planet Mars. As we're leading up now to the Feast of Trumpets on September 16th of 2023, it is not only connected exactly, I mean, it's right on top of Mars on the Feast of Trumpets, but it's also right next to the moon. I mean, this is the symbol of the Feast of Trumpets. The moon, the new crescent moon on the Feast of Trumpets, that is the sign of the beginning of the Feast of Trumpets. This asteroid 12182 is conjoined perfectly with Mars and connected right to the moon on the Day of Trumpets, September 16th, 2023. Many people are looking for the Feast of Trumpets on September 15th. But if we look carefully, and once that day arrives, we're going to be able to notice, and this is what I'm challenging everybody to watch for, the new moon will not be spotted on September 15th. It's too close to the sun. There will not be a new moon sliver on September 15th. It will have to be one day later, September 16th. This is shown to us in renewed moon. And even if you watch it in stellarium on September 15th, you're going to notice that on September 15th, there is no new moon sliver. Okay, so the Feast of Trumpets is going to be September 16th. This is exactly where Comet 12182 storm is connected with the moon and with Mars on September 16th. And going forward 10 more days, exactly 10 more days, just as it is crossing the line into Virgo. The womb of Virgo is made up of an imaginary line that goes from Spica to another star above it. There's 4 main stars in Virgo that form the womb portion of Virgo. The asteroid 12182 is exactly on the line coming into the womb of Virgo on the Day of Atonement, September 26th. Okay, it is connected still, just as it was 10 days earlier, with Mars. So from the day it was discovered, conjoined with Mars, which was the last day of the Yom Kippur War, from 1973, 50 years ago, A 50-year sign, and the Jubilee trumpet is sounded on the Day of Atonement. The Yom Kippur War on the Day of Atonement, 1973, 50 years later. The Day of Atonement, September 26th, 2023. This asteroid is connected to Mars on both occasions. And it's also connected to Mars at the beginning of Event 201. And it's connected to Mars on the Feast of Trumpets, September 16th of 2023. Now, as we look at May 14th and 15th of 2018, which was Israel's 70th birthday, it was also the day that Donald Trump inaugurated the Jerusalem embassy, moving it from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem on Israel's 70th birthday, May 14th, 2018. And on May 15th, 2018, the Clade X pandemic exercise leading up to Event 201 and the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. And if you go from May 15th, 2018 to March 11th, 2020, from the beginning of the planning of the pandemic to the actual declaring of the pandemic, it's 666 days. May 15th, 2018 to March 11th, 2020, 666 days. But if you go from May 15th, 2018 to September 26th, 2023, it's 1,961 days. Barack Obama was born in what year? 1961. What does 1961 mean in the Hebrew? It means let there be. When it says the earth was without form, the earth was formless, and Genesis 1:3 says let there be, it means to fall out or come to pass or to become or to be. Okay? And then light is the number 216. Let there be light. Did you know that Barack Obama's birthday was encoded in Genesis 1, verse 3, when it says, let there be light? Light is 216, and let there be is 1961. And Barack Obama was born on the 216th day of 1961. Well, from May 15th, 2018, there are 1,961 days to the Day of Atonement. So from the day they planned the pandemic to the Day of Atonement, there are 1,961 days. Then if we go from Event 201 to the Day of Atonement, October 18th, 2019 to September 26th, 2023, it's 1,440 days. And this is the word that means 70 in the Strong's Concordance. 70. So this is the 70 weeks. This is the 70 weeks of the elite, the 70 weeks of the world elite. It's 1,440 days, but the meaning is 70. The meaning is 70. 70 is huge in end time prophecy, the 70 weeks of Daniel, and now we have the 70 of the elite. Event 201 leading us by 1,440 days to the Day of Atonement, and the meaning of 1,440 is 70. I previously shared all of this information with you that from the day that Barack Obama spoke the first time on the world stage, presented to the world, presented to the nation on July 27, 2004, 7,000 days to the Day of Atonement. From the day he was elected, November 4th, 2008, 777 weeks. From the day he was inaugurated, January 20th, 2009, 766 weeks. And then if we go from the Obama Nobel Peace Prize, October 9th, 2009, it is 14 biblical years, 5,100 days, which is 2,550 days times 2 to the Day of Atonement, September 26th, 2023. The 14 years are divided in 4 increments of 1,260, 1,290, 1260, and 1290 days. Exactly 5,100 days. From the Nobel Peace Prize, October 9th, 2009, adding 1,260 days. To the Unbreakable Alliance, Obama and Israel, March 22nd, 2013. Adding 1,290 days, Barack Obama back in Israel for the funeral of Shimon Peres, September 30th, 2016. Adding 1,260 days brings us to the beginning of the pandemic between March 11th and March 13th of 2020. And then from the beginning of the pandemic, adding 1,290 days brings us to the Day of Atonement, September 25th and September 26th, 2023. All of this connected to the timeline of Barack Obama. Now add this into everything else. Add this into everything else. September is the true seventh month. September means seven. September comes from the Latin siete. September is seven. September 26th is 726. 726 in the Greek Strong Concordance is harpazo, and that is the word for rapture. Caught up unto God and to his throne, caught up with Jesus in the clouds, harpazo, 726. The date of the rapture given to us through the word harpazo, September 26, 726. And now we have the Daniel storm has arrived in Greece. The Daniel storm has arrived in Greece. Daniel chapter 10, the 21-day battle, and shows us exactly the battle between Michael the archangel, the prince of Persia, and when the battle is over, the prince of Greece is going to come. The prince of Greece is going to come. This is all written in Daniel chapter 10. Beyond that, 7,000 lightning bolts are recorded as Storm Daniel washes away cars and wreaks havoc on Greece today on September 5th, 2023. The Daniel storm is here, folks. The Daniel storm is here. This was sent to me just after I did that video about the Daniel storm. This was sent to me by Brother Chris, Born for Battle 74. Look, Steve. Okay, just look at this information, folks. Look at the information. From and including Wednesday, June 21st. The Beast Obama visits Greece. Look at the date when he visited Greece, June 21st. That is 216. 21 June is 216. 216. June is the 6th month. Okay, so he visits Greece on June 21st. Now, you go to September 5th, 2023, and you have in Greece, Storm Daniel, 7,000 lightning strikes reported, and it's 2 months and 16 days, including the end date. So from 216, add 216, and you get September 5th, 2023, and they're both connected to Greece. Storm Daniel, 7,000 lightning strikes recorded. Obama in Greece on June 21st. Okay, so this is huge information. And this is 21 days from September 26th, which is the last day of the Day of Atonement on the Torah calendar, September 26th of 2023. 21-day warning. The Daniel storm, 21-day warning. So I am sharing with you about the rider on the white horse. This is all shown from the founder of this asteroid, naming it after Theodore Storm, whose most famous work is The Rider on the White Horse. This asteroid was discovered on the last day of the Yom Kippur War from 1973. It's connected to the new moon and to Mars on the Feast of Trumpets, September 16th, 2023, and it enters the womb of Virgo, connected to Mars, exactly on the Day of Atonement, September 26th, 2023. So what does all of this mean? Connected to the Revelation 12 sign that is shown September 19th of 2023. Well, first of all, September 19th, 2023 is not the Feast of Trumpets. The Feast of Trumpets begins on September 16th. And even though I believe that the Feast of Trumpets is a one-day feast, I believe that the Bible shows us that the Day of Trumpets is a one-day feast, the Day of Trumpets. Many people believe it is a two-day feast. Even if it is a two-day feast, it'll go from September 16th to September 17th, and then it'll go from September 17th to September 18th. But Brother Patrick has this sign. The most important signs are all coming together on September 19th. Okay? So that this sign in and of itself is not happening on the Feast of Trumpets. Why is this sign coming on September 19th and not on September 16th and not on September 17th, not on September 18th, and not until the third day of Tishri, which is September 19th? Because the moon has to be at her feet, okay? And so this shows us that September 15th, September 16th, September 17th, September 18th, September 19th, the moon does not get to her feet until September 19th, the third day of Tishri, okay? So why does all of this happen? Why is this sign on September 19th and not on the Feast of Trumpets? And I am going to tell you why. Because this is not a sign for the Feast of Trumpets. This is our final warning, 7-day warning to the storm that is coming on September 26th, 2023. The Revelation 12 sign of September 19th, 2023 is the final warning of 7 days, as in the days of Noah, to the Day of Atonement on September 26th, 2023. Okay, so I want to go over this again with you. Here is a summary on a storm is coming, asteroid 12182, and how all of this came together, how we understood this, and how it connects us with the statement of Donald Trump, the calm before the storm, a storm is coming. Asteroid 12182 storm was discovered on October 27, 1973. This was exactly the last day of the Yom Kippur War 50 years ago in 1973. It also has an arc of 49.69 years, which means in and of itself, the asteroid comes around every 50 years, does its complete spin every 50 years. This was named after Theodore Storm, whose greatest work was The Rider on the White Horse. This is the arrival of the rider on the white horse, the coming of the Antichrist on the Day of Atonement. Donald Trump said, "A storm is coming, a calm before the storm," on October 5th, 2017. Asteroid storm was in the goat portion of Capricorn on this day. Asteroid 12182 storm conjoined with the sun in Taurus on May 14th and 15th, 2018, which was Israel's 70th anniversary, embassy inauguration, and Clade X exercise. Asteroid 12182 storm was conjoined with Mars in Virgo on the day of Event 201 pandemic exercise, October 18th of 2019. Asteroid 12182 storm was conjoined with the moon in Libra at the beginning of the pandemic between March 11th and March 13th, 2020. Asteroid 12182 storm is in the same region as the total solar eclipse midpoint of the two great American solar eclipses on December 14th, 2020, which also marked the first jabs in the United States and the day that Joe Biden was confirmed as president via the Electoral College. Asteroid 12182 storm will be conjoined with the moon and Mars exactly on the Feast of Trumpets, September 16th, 2023. Strong's 2182 means inventor, discoverer, or contriver. It's used only once in Romans 1:30 and is used in the context of inventor of evil things. Just as Donald Trump said, a calm before the storm. What storm, Mr. President? You'll find out. This is the calm before the storm. A storm is coming. And asteroid 12182 storm enters Virgo exactly on the Day of Atonement, September 26th, 2023, which is also 2182 days after the Trump statement. From the Trump statement, October 5th, 2017 to September 26, 2023, it's 2,182 days. And the name of the asteroid is 12182 storm. The storm is coming 2,182 days after the statement of Donald Trump. So here we have asteroid 12182 storm. On the day it was discovered was the last day of the Yom Kippur War from 1973, October 27th, 1973. Discovered on this day in the constellation of Pisces conjoined with Mars. It will be exactly in the constellation of Virgo, entering into the womb of Virgo on the Day of Atonement, September 26th, 2023. September 26th, 726, Harpazo. Are you ready for the return of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? I pray you are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.